G'day, here's why I'm making some changes, and maybe you should too. Okay, so we've heard it all before. Companies and brands and businesses need to change, they need to evolve, and they need to adapt. But the reality, of course, is that in most cases, companies, brands, and businesses just don't really do that. And there's various reasons for that, I guess, but bugger it, I'm making some changes to my content strategy. And look, some of those changes you'll notice, some you won't. Some will be on the back end, some will be obviously there that you will notice. And the changes are going to be both in the way I produce the content and also a little bit the way I distribute the content. And why? Well, it's a little bit like I spoke about yesterday, the fact that people's attention spans are getting much shorter, and so we need to maybe do things a little bit differently. Also, I spoke about this back in episode 485, I think, of this show, where I spoke about unknown impact and the fact that the unknown tends to create an impact. You know, if I was to turn up here on this show wearing a Borat mankini, for example, that would probably make an impact. Possibly not the impact that I'd like to make, and don't worry, I won't be doing that to you. But, you know, I think this idea of fresh air and keeping things fresh is important, not just for you, the person who's doing that thing, creating the content or giving that service or creating that product, but also to the team around you, the people in your organization, and maybe even more importantly, to your customers and guests and clients on the other end. So I think keeping it fresh is really never a bad thing. So that's what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. Just wanted to really do two things. Number one, give you a heads up that you might notice some changes, not to worry about it. And number two, to maybe implore you to think about making some changes in what you're doing as well. And I think the first one, just to give you a heads up, I guess to let you know about that, is that the Insights with Trent Monday channel is essentially going away. That's where you'll find me on most of the podcast networks. And that will be rebranded to Trent365. You might recall almost 2 years ago now, I started Trent365 as an anchor podcast. That's been going for a while. We switched it over to Insights. But now the reality is, let's be honest, the Trent365 brand, if you like, is more recognizable than Insights. And so what I'm going to do is keep Trent365 going and dump that from Anchor. So if you have been following along on Anchor, you'll need to get over to iTunes and subscribe somewhere else. If you subscribe to any of the other podcasts, then you'll be fine because it'll just update your subscription. If anything drops out, if you've got any hassles, either drop me a note and let me know, or head on over to my website, which is trentmonday.com, and there'll be a really frustrating, annoying little pop-up that hits you pretty much straight away that gives you the chance to throw your email address in there so that I can make sure I keep you updated on all the things that are changing. And so if anyone's also got any ideas or suggestions of things that they'd like to see change, different things they'd like me to do, within reason, no Borat mankinis or similar, drop me a note and let me know. me@trentmonday.com is the email address, or you can hit me up with a message wherever you're basically getting this particular piece of content. Alrighty, that's it for today. Change is not a bad thing. I will be back again tomorrow. See ya.